the direction was always, now start heavy breathing. And I remember I used to feel so lightheaded because throughout that shoot I was like, because I was always scared or something. And I would feel so lightheaded and I would always be like, can't I take like one deep breath rather than do 15 shallow breaths because I'm feeling really lightheaded. So I would tell Radhika, just take one deep breath.
A question you'd ask Tia from Jawane Janeman if you met her.
How's the baby doing?
Some advice you'd give to Rashika Bakshi from U-Turn.
um, Take one deep breath, not 15 shallow breaths. Because I remember during that shoot, the direction was always, now start heavy breathing. And I remember I used to feel so lightheaded because throughout that shoot I was like, because I was always scared or something. And I would feel so lightheaded and I would always be like, can't I take like one deep breath rather than do 15 shallow breaths because I'm feeling really lightheaded. So I would tell Radhika, just take one deep breath. It's okay.
A moment you sense sympathy for Kainaz Cruz Irani.
Oh, I felt sympathy for her.
Or you wanted to send sympathy to her.
Send sympathy to her. When she was getting her teeth pulled out, I think that's a good time as any.
Okay. One thing you love most about Amrita from Almost Pyar with DJ Mohabbat.
Arey, Amrita's fab. Amrita's all heart. The innocence.
First impression of Tia from Jawane Janeman.
Oh my god, this girl is so like me. I remember it was so weird because I think that script was just meant to be mine. That character was me. Somehow the family setting also weirdly was like my family setting. My mother now living in Goa, doing some living her hippie life in a lot of ways, and then Tabu Man's character always talk about the universe and how things are meant to be. Very much like that. My father, of course, is not a jazz playboy, of course not. But in a lot of weird ways, I felt a lot of overlaps with Tia. So that was my first impression of her. And I also thought, wow, what a nice mature girl. And then I gave myself a pat on the back also because I thought I related to it.
Nice. Your unique input in the creation of Tia for the screen.
Again, I feel like my unique input was just bringing a lot of me into the character. She was me in a lot of ways. So I think as a debut, actually, it worked out so perfectly because audiences actually got to see me also in a lot of ways. What I brought to Tia was the way I talk a little weirdly sometimes and the little mannerisms I have. Because those things you can't sort of write them down and do it. It sort of just comes in the moment. I think Sefsa and I had a wonderful acting chemistry. So I feel like that's something we really built together really wonderfully. So yeah.
Okay. You had Saif and Tabu as your on-screen parents. How surreal was that?
That whole phase of my life was just so exciting because firstly I had signed a film that I really loved. I knew I was working with Saif sir. Then Tabu ma'am gets added on, which is like mind-blowing. Then, the entire cast had just such wonderful, exciting characters and people. We were shooting in London in the most wonderful weather in the summer. That was lovely. Our producer, Jayu sir, who I just absolutely love, is one of my most favorite people in this industry that I've ever found. So that whole film was a dream. That whole film was surreal. I will never love a film more than I love Jawane Janeman. It will always be my most special. And Tabu ma'am and Saif sir are such a large part of why it is just so surreal and special to me.
During the making and preparation, what inspired you?
Honestly, that first day that I had on set, my first day ever on a set, after that day, I knew my life had changed forever. I have never, ever in my entire life felt such a high and so much joy. I had a very successful first day. My first day on set it went so well. I don't know if I've told you this story about that 7-minute one shot. Basically, my first day on shoot was like a 6.5-minute one shot without any cuts, complicated blocking, heavy on dialogues on me, very important scene of the film. And I did well. I did really well. And I could see it on everyone's faces. Everyone had a sense of relief, like, oh, okay, we've done a good job casting this girl. This girl is going to do a really good job. That relief that other people felt that then gave me great relief, that high that I felt knowing that I had done a good job, that sense of assurance that I felt knowing that I've chosen the right profession, and the sense of hope that I felt knowing how much could come of this career that I've now decided to embark on. That day was actually the most inspiring for me. That one moment.
And one defining moment of the character, Tia.
Defining moment of Tia. When she realizes she's preggers. I think that's a big defining moment. Suddenly you're not, yeah.
Great, I'm done.
Yay!
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.